everybody here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentine, and I hope you're all having a fantastic Friday. We are back yet again for another wonderful show. I hope you guys, again, having a great day, because it is wet outside right now, and not in the best way. So I hope you guys are... Stop it. Such a child. Come on. Sophisticated joke like that. And all right. Yeah, folks, obviously we're back. We got another fun week of news. Obviously, a lot of stuff is happening with the NFL free agency about to go down, so we're going to be talking about that. A lot of news in terms of the Bears that you guys were asking us questions for. Also, too, we got some stuff on Kyler Murray. We're going to talk about potentially what his future could be like. And then, yeah, we're going to get into some UFC talk, believe it or not. So, as always, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys for being here, being a part of us, watching us, listening to us, all that good stuff. If you do want to catch us anymore as well, too, as always, we're on the YouTube and the Twitch side. You guys can catch us there as per the usual. We're on X-Bomb Sports, YouTube, and Twitch. Check it out. Search us. You know where to find us at this point in time. Also, too, if you guys want to check us out anymore as well, we're also on the social media side. That is on X. That is at X-Bomb Sports on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and, of course, TikTok as well. We will be back on all that stuff on the regular with clips hopefully here very soon. And if you guys have any questions, comments, things like that, too, along the way, if you don't want to ask us on the social media side, you guys can also hit us up at xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. I oftentimes do prefer that because this way I can kind of, excuse me, sort them out. I can put them into different boxes because I like to keep my stuff organized because organization is key, folks, to success in life. That is something that I was told by, what was it? I believe it was, oh, yeah, I found it in a fortune cookie once. So don't know if it rings true or not, but we'll find out. But with me, as always, of course, is our man, Scotty Kiefer. Scotty, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. You know, you're talking about what you find in fortune cookies. I get gambling ads on my fortune cookies, so.
Yeah, I get those too. I'll never forget the first time I got one of those, and it didn't say anything on the front. I got no fortune with it, but I did make sure to get the gambling ad on the back. That was printed there.
Yeah, so. Mine said, you got a lot of luck lately.
Of course it did.
I'm like, do I? And then I turn it around, and it's gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sign. It's a sign.
Yeah. Oh, but no. There's no addiction happening in this country that says FanDuel and DraftKings during their commercials. Of course not. Joining us also too is our boy Nick, No Gimmicks Nick Johnson as well. He's on us too. Nick, how you doing, amigo?
What's poppin'?
What's going on, man?
Roll.
Folks, if you do, by the way, too, want to check out our boy, No Gimmicks Nick Johnson, David W. Dykstra was not here with us today, but Scotty Kiefer was here up on this desk with our boy, No Gimmicks Nick Johnson. You guys can check it out. Bad Karma Wrestling, that's right, where they talk all wonderful things, WWE and AEW. Go check that out right after this show, folks, because they did a fantastic job talking about what happened at Elimination Chamber, as well as what happened on WWE following that, as well as AEW in itself. And you can check that out again every Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time, right here on the desk at the Bad Karma Wrestling YouTube page. Go check it out. Without further ado, Scotty, my man, you ready to do this? We got to find a new intro for you on that one, I swear to God. All right, let's do this, folks. So, yes, you were hitting me with the emails. I know I was following the news. The Bears had a lot of stuff going down. We're going to get through all of it. Didn't list it, but let's just kind of get it out of the way. Tremaine Edmonds, more than likely, is going to be getting released here very soon, probably by today.
Last night.
Officially released? Okay, he's gone, so he's no longer a Bear. But we kind of knew that was coming. That was already kind of pre-announced. They were just going to seek a trade, and if not, the release was going to happen. So we knew that was kind of in the wind already. But the one that kind of, I think, caught us all by surprise recently, not the first one, the recent one, but not a surprise, but a surprise as to what happened with him, is DJ Moore, no longer with the Bears. Once the official new season is announced, he will be traded to the Buffalo Bills. Yes. The Buffalo Bills are acquiring DJ Moore, but in doing so, I was a little surprised by this, but I understand the move itself. 2026 second-round draft pick. That is the cost of DJ Moore for the Buffalo Bills. And on the surface, I think we can all say solid move. I mean, I think a lot of people will sit here and were maybe hoping that potentially a first-round pick would come out of it. That's asking a lot. but for what you got and where he's going, feels like a win-win, right? I mean, feels like the Bears get draft capital that obviously can be used in either a future player or I'm sure many of us have heard rumors about potentially being connected to a certain defensive end that is currently in Las Vegas that doesn't seem to be very happy. And this is kind of a opportunity to maybe make that move. But, hey, if not, you do have more future draft capital, or if anything, maybe it's there to replace what you could lose for getting Max Crosby. This also, by the way, too, does help the Buffalo Bills. It gives them a number one wide receiver, which Josh Allen has been looking for. And, you know, it is the complete opposite of what people were thinking, which was A.J. Brown was kind of the go-to in that situation. But DJ Moore becomes kind of more the guy, which I'll explain a little bit later on maybe why that might be better for the Buffalo Bills. But, yeah, look, all in all, for the Bears, it gets you a draft pick that you can use potentially for the trades, if anything, maybe a player, right, through the draft, and clears you also, too, of some serious draft capital or draft cap space that was necessary if you're going to make a move for Max Crosby, or if anything, you're going to sign more free agents that can help out this team in the long haul. But, Scotty, I mean, initial thoughts for you on DJ Moore being moved to the Buffalo Bills. What do you think? Win-win, win-loss, lose-lose. I mean, what are you feeling about this move?
Win for the Bills, confusion for the Bears.
Okay.
And my reasoning why is, yes, it makes 100% sense to trade him to get the salary cap off. It makes 100%. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Bears aren't really a cap strength team, or cap restricted team, though. So when they first announced it, it was like it doesn't really make that much sense to trade him, because you have to remember that DJ Moore is the most reliable receiver the Bears have. No, Nick's giving me the thumbs down, but you look at the stats. I mean, Rome Odunze drops the ball too much. Luther Burden is limited and also drops the ball a little too much. Colson Loveland came into it later, but, I mean, DJ Moore goes out there injured. It took a while for Colson Loveland to get into it. And, yes, I would say now it's a toss-up, but they send DJ Moore out there with injuries all the time to go out there and make plays. And he does. He's the most consistent receiver the Bears have, the most reliable receiver the Bears have. And I feel like they're kind of undervaluing him with that. And I think Buffalo's going to have a field day with him. Him and Josh Allen are going to be fantastic. I mean, that's just looking at it. I understand why they have to do it because of the money situation, but I don't know. I just not a huge fan of it. And for how much he loves playing here, I didn't really get it that way either. I respect the hell out of Poles, though, for trading him to an actual contender. DJ Moore hasn't played on a team with a winning record in his entire career, so he gets 1 year and then he gets traded off to a bad team. No, he gets traded to a team that is a perennial contender to go to the Super Bowl. So I think that's a good move on Poles. He takes care of his guys like that, but on the Bears side of it, I get where they're coming from with the money. I think in the long run, we're going to need to see some improvement from a guy like Rome Odunze in a new number one role, because you're taking a lot away from Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is a quarterback with the lowest completion percentage, and honestly, it could be lower if he doesn't have DJ Moore.
Okay.
Couldn't disagree with you more. Honestly, you coming off career lows on every single part of him. Clearly, the Bears and Ben Johnson show that it's not a one. I'm only gonna go to one guy. Like, no, they spread the ball around. They go to anybody and everybody that's hot and ready to roll. Yeah, they weren't necessarily in cap hell, but this helped tremendously, considering they were gonna get some dead cap from Dalman and a couple others. And again, this is just next man up mentality. The idea that DJ Moore on the surface level, you were trading him for, you're probably only gonna get a 4th round for him. So they had to sweeten the deal to throw a 5th rounder, but to get a 2nd round out of it, love that. You're trading away a starter, yes, but in that 2nd round pick, you're most likely gonna replace him with either he'll eventually be a starter, or he's gonna be a day one starter right away. So I loved it for both. because the Bills will, finally Josh Allen has a reliable receiver. We'll see how long for, because a lot of Buffalo Bills, if you listen to the Buffalo Bills radio and a lot of other sports analysts, they're kind of like, not really too in love with this. A lot of, kind of had to get the Chicago people to sell them on him. So, I don't know. I think this was, right now, surface level, win-win for both.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. I mean, that's and listen, I understand what you're saying, Scotty. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, what DJ Moore did for the Bears is he gave them let's be very honest here, a competent number one wide receiver for the first time since like Brandon Marshall or Allen Robinson. Like, it's been a while since they've had that guy that they can lean on and say, finally, someone who we can consistently see have the ball thrown to him. Unfortunately, who was throwing the ball to him was not a very good quarterback in Justin Fields. Now comes in Caleb Williams, who maybe there was a little bit of a learning curve for Caleb Williams and DJ Moore, right? One's a veteran who's in his prime. The other one's a young quarterback entering into his career. And it seemed that those two maybe weren't meshing as well as you needed to. And I don't think DJ Moore ever... I don't think he ever hated it here in Chicago. He seemed to always love it. He seemed to embrace it for sure. But there were certainly signs where it felt like maybe that time was wearing thin. And look, the last play of that playoff game against the Rams, unfortunately, you can go back and forth on, well, who's more at fault in that. It just looks like DJ Moore quit on that play. And in that moment, I think was what you can argue sealed his fate, where if he had run full speed, got underneath Cameron Curl, he's catching that ball. If anything, it's an incomplete pass, and the Bears are still fighting for that position. But when you don't do that and he throws that interception, the last image that people are going to have all of a sudden of DJ Moore is you didn't seem to run full go on that route where you probably would have had that ball. You're fast enough and good enough to do it. So, but I get what you're saying. Dunze, second year in.
I think people are just forgetting how important DJ Moore has been to the development of Caleb. And what, I mean, there's a reason why, I mean, you could say also contradicting, but there's a reason why they tried to put DJ in other spots on the field just to get him the ball, because they know when he gets it, he makes the first guy miss, and he's going to fight for it, and he's going to make plays. I mean, I remember it being there for his first play of preseason, and he gets a screen pass, takes it all the way to the house. When he first came over. I mean, he's that type of player. He's a dynamic player, and I think people forget that Caleb looked to him to get the ball in big spots because he knew DJ was going to catch it. I mean, yes, I agree with you. Colson Loveland definitely came on at the end. And, I mean, Colson Loveland had, one drop, and it was in the divisional round? Yes, I completely agree with you with that. But compared to the wide receiver room, Luther Burden has his problems with drops. And really, he hasn't really shown much to be a downfield type of guy like DJ Moore. He's more of a get the ball quick and make the first guy miss type receiver. DJ does that as well, but also is your deep ball guy. Rome Odunze has shown that he could be your deep ball guy, but he's also shown that he's going to drop the ball a lot. I mean, there's some clear catches that he should be making that he wasn't. DJ Moore doesn't really do that. It does sound fixable. I was just going to
say, it's all stuff that you can do with coaching. You're going to have to see some
major progression from a guy like Rome Odunze in a number one role. Is he going to be ready for that?
Burton's biggest thing is that he just likes to move without the ball before he has it. So, again, fixable.
And that's my thing is and again, your argument is certainly valid. No one's discrediting that. It's just with those two, one's in his second year, who came in with Caleb, and likely you can see the chemistry is between them. It's just, yes, for some reason, Rome Odunze, he's going through the drops. He's having the yips or whatever the case is. But with a guy like Antoine Randall, you figure who better knows how to fix that than a guy that when he first came into the league was having the drops and then became one of the most consistent third down slot receivers in the NFL for a decade. Like, Antoine Randall, I'm sure can fix that. And with Luther Burden, it is really just that. It's him just, I think, taking the breath and getting settled. Because there's so many times where I think he just wants to go. And it's just about it. For him, it's just slowing it down. It's that thing of breathe, take it easy. Like, he's going to develop, I think, into that solid. He can be that Jordan Addison to what Rome Odunze is. If you really want to find a comp for him right now, that couldn't be his guy. He might even be able to be that like 1B to a Rome Odunze 1A. And then you've got Colston Loveland as well in that mix. Like, there's enough here for the Bears to say we can move on and feel good. And for the Bills, look, you went through Stephon Diggs with his whole, I've got things to say. A.J. Brown, do you really want to bring that in where he's been very vocal as of late? This is a guy who you know is going to be like, I'm here. I'm going to be happy I'm here. I'm going to play well. Josh is my quarterback. I'm so happy to have this. Like, there's no reason why he shouldn't, like, he's not going to ruffle feathers, right? Not really.
I do feel bad for Josh. He now has no excuse. He does have a number one receiver
This is it for him.
No, last year he had an excuse. They drafted Keon Coleman. Now he has, and then he decided not to play. Good. He cared about cookies more.
Well, there's no excuse for Keon Coleman.
He's got no excuse.
Keon Coleman has no excuse either. Like, you have now the number one that should be drawing you into one-on-ones with your corner. You need to develop because this is the guy for the future. Supposedly, Keon Coleman's supposed to be that guy. You now have no more excuses. You need to start making plays, especially if DJ Moore is maximizing his ability when now he's going to be 30? Like, you're 22, 23. You should be taking advantage of every opportunity. So no more excuses for Josh Allen. I mean, I agree with Nick. There was no excuses last year. But this is –
face Lamar. Didn't have to face Patrick.
Yeah, exactly. No Joe Burrow. Like, all of it, all the potential was –
all the monsters that keep you up at night weren't there, and you lost to Drake May.
And that's – but this is like, okay, the window for the Bills is just cracked open enough. This is the one, apart from obviously, they released Teron Johnson, so they're going to have to up the defense, but I think they'll be able to do that.
They have to do that every year anyway.
Of course, but this is kind of like –
is never good enough.
This is the final push for them to say, we either do this or the Patriots more than likely are going to be taking control.
Yeah, but Andrew, Keon Coleman does have an excuse. Have you ever had like a really good chocolate chip cookie? Like,
yes, of course I have.
Like,
I make those all the
valid
time.
Excuse though.
How do you think I got like this? I know what the best ones are. Don't even try me. They're of course the chewy chocolate Chips Ahoy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Come on, folks.
I will say this though: the DJ Moore, Tremaine Edmonds, and we'll get into it now. The Drew Dalman. That's $44 million for the Bears now to make a move. That's $44 million in open cap, and like I mentioned, and Nick also mentioned, not a team in cap hell. So add $44 million to what they already had. Geared up for some big moves, but now you got a massive hole to fill right in the middle.
Yes, and that is where this problem collides because what do the Bears do? How do you address this? Because with Drew Dalman obviously being the first of this, that was a huge – I thought Adam Scheffler – I thought it was like one of those fake accounts. And I'm like, no, that's Adam Scheffler's Twitter account tweeting out that Drew Dalman was retiring at the age of 27 after 5 seasons in the NFL. And it just – obviously everybody was like perplexed. What happened here, right? He just made the Pro Bowl. He signed a huge contract of $42 million for 3 years. The anchor, the linchpin of that offensive line, right? Joe Thuney's the voice, but this guy is the brains. Like, so much in his prime. At 26, going into 27, in his prime. What happened here? Well, I mean, according to what I've been able to find, the word is that, and for those that don't know, Drew Dalman's father played in the NFL. He played college ball. He played a very long time. And now has kind of been one of those guys who struggles when it comes to simple things. Not CTE necessarily, but it is that Dalman's father, apparently, it's the body and the wear and tear of playing in the NFL. And Dalman apparently had cited that he had seen that, and at 27 years old, maybe was kind of just in the realm of going, you know what, I've got a future ahead of me. Guy went to Stanford and was a standout at Stanford both as a player and as a student. So he knows that there's a future after the NFL for him, for sure. Like, he understands that. So I don't blame Drew Dalman.
Andrew Luck was just in his ear?
Yeah, I probably. Come be my assistant GM. I mean, or something. Like, honestly, like, I don't blame Drew Dalman one bit. Like, you got the 1 year with the Bears. You decided that this was kind of your move to make. I get it. So I don't.
You can't blame him at all.
No, absolutely not.
Dana says it the best. He goes, he never fights people when they say they want to retire because he just completely understands it.
Yeah.
If you have any inkling of wanting to retire, you should retire.
When you get the hell beaten out of you,
Yes.
I don't blame you for saying, you know what, I get it. I might be in my prime, but I'm also exhausted because I've been doing this probably since you were. For Drew Dalman, you've probably been doing this since you were like 4 or 5. Like for any fighter out there, you've probably been doing this since you were maybe like a teenager, if not maybe a kid.
Yeah.
Like you got to think about that, the longevity of this thing. I mean, look, I only played for 5 years, and even I have my concerns about what the future might lie for me. I mean, I only can think about what happens for a guy like Drew Dalman potentially, but I think he's got it smart. I think he got it right. I don't think nobody can be. Don't be angry at a guy for choosing his health over a football career.
Yeah, no.
That's a you problem, and I get it. You're a Bears fan. You're like, oh, we're there. We're gonna do it. It's okay, folks. It's okay. Because guess what? There's some names in this free agent class that they can go get.
It does feel bad kind of talking about what the Bears have to do to replace him because it's like you kind of just understand that he wanted to go. It's fine.
Right.
But on the other side of it, I mean, the Bears just lost a all-pro level, Pro Bowl level center.
Yes.
That was not only playing at that level, was also dirt cheap.
Yes.
Drew Dalman was not a very expensive center.
No, he was not.
He was nowhere close to being one. And, I mean, yes, they're the front runner to now go get Linderbaum, but Linderbaum's probably going to end up being
$20 million a year.
The highest, if not one of the highest paid centers in the NFL now. That's a drastic
Which
difference.
rightfully so. I mean, he's
rightfully so.
arguably the best center in the league.
But building a team, that's tough.
Yes.
And Poles has a tough decision of the Caleb contract coming up soon. I mean, he's in his second year, but he's only got 2 more years before he's actually got to start talking about it.
Well, this is the thing, right? You have to. Nick brought this up for bad karma, for the sake of looking ahead, right? Looking ahead and saying, let's not worry about the now constantly. Let's think about 3, 4, maybe 5 years down the line. This is something the Bears have to do right now with this kind of cap room. You have to say to yourself, okay, we have Tyler Linderbaum, who might be interested in joining the Bears. Who knows? I haven't heard anything, but certainly he's been linked to the Bears as being like as the number 1 contender. The same has been said, though, about Max Crosby. Now, one guy is going to cost you $20 million a year and be your center, probably for the next 4 or 5 years, whatever it might be. The other guy, however, is an edge rusher in his prime that I think is certainly more valuable than a center, not to degrade centers, but I'm just saying edge rusher is a very key role in the NFL now more than ever, but is going to cost you I think it's like a $35 million cap hit, like for this season. And you have to think about that, like, where can we afford one and still get the other? But, is there a way to be able to do this relatively cheap? And look, they're not done, right? You have to restructure the deals, I think, of Cole Kmet. You're probably going to have to maybe talk to Jalen Johnson and be like, hey, can we figure out a way to get a deal done to free up more money to try and see if maybe you can get both? Because, yeah, if you could sign Linderbaum, look, if we could take the salary cap off like people do in Madden and go, I'm going to sign Linderbaum and I'm going to trade for Max Crosby, hey, that'd be awesome. But this isn't Madden where you can make those moves. This is where you have to really consider all the possibilities that'll be on the line, which here's what I'll say. If you're the Bears and you're saying, okay, we want Max Crosby and we want to go cheap on the center, right? I would argue that there are enough guys in this class of free agents and even the draft, if you want to go the draft route too, that you could go with, right?
There's a lot of pretty good centers, especially where the Bears are drafting right
I was just
now.
going to say, I think your school, if I'm not mistaken, has maybe the best center in college football right now in Jake Slaughter, who I watched his game tape. I put him next to Brian Allen, I think is his name, for the center for the Rams.
And they're both
consistently there.
And there's a lot of centers around where the Bears are going to be drafting as
Yeah.
well. And I mean, a lot of the early mock drafts have been, they're going to go with the defensive lineman, but
Which I'd
Now-
still do in the first round, but in the second round,
Now with this move, though, honestly, in the first round too, they could even just go
Yeah.
with a center.
you very well could, which is going to be a cheap route still, where you're drafting. That's not going to cost you a lot of money. But this is, of course, all saying you can do this deal with Max Crosby or not. That is all contingent on this. If you're not going to go Tyler Linderbaum, who's going to be the most expensive, the next guy would be Connor McGovern. In his prime, he's made a Pro Bowl. I think the Bills are going to try to maybe work something out, but according to what I heard last, they haven't really had any conversations yet. But he's going to be costly as well, from what I understand, but maybe not as costly. This is where then you go to guys like Cade Mays, who's 26 in his prime. You've got Ethan Posick, who's kind of been around the league, but he's always been pretty consistent. The guy I think who maybe they should look at is Lloyd Cushenberry, who maybe isn't the sexiest name. I know he was with the Titans last, but he's always been like Mr. Reliable.
Yeah, before he went to the Titans, that was the big name on the market.
Yeah.
When he was a free agent. He was the Tyler Linderbaum of that class.
Absolutely.
And he chose the Titans for, whatever reason. And yeah.
I don't blame him.
And obviously the Titans have not been good, but it's not like he's been the problem. His
No.
ability is not the problem.
Their offensive line has not been terrible outside of him, Skoronski, and Latham's been okay, but he needs to get better, obviously. It's those, but he's been, I think, the consistent. He's all reliable, very smart, very intelligent. That's kind of what you want from your center. Oh, by the way, he's a vet. That's perfect for a young quarterback that's still growing. But he's a vet in the way that he's 28 years old. So vet in his prime. And he's not going to cost you a lot of money more than likely. So that's something you can go with where you're still saying there's chemistry here potentially, solid on the offensive line. We've got a guy that can man the middle. And, oh, by the way, there's still going to be money left over that you can go get Max Crosby. But again, do you want to go get Max Crosby or do you want to go get the top center in this free agent class? Or do you want to draft a defensive end or do you want to draft a center? This is where the Bears are going to have to figure this out.
Can I float out some ideas for you to fix
Please.
the edge rusher problem? There's Max Crosby.
Yes,
but
of course.
The Max Crosby value is, the way they're valuing him is incredibly high.
Not having DJ Moore kind of hurts that, and now releasing Tremaine Edmonds,
Yeah.
who were being linked to possibly being traded to the Raiders, both of them. That kind of hurts.
I just saw a report that the Eagles are are considering putting Jalen Carter in the mix of a Max Crosby trade. So
Wow. Okay.
that's a rumor I just saw.
So that's I thought he was part of their future. What happened?
Yeah, the value on Crosby is insane right now.
Yeah, of course.
Thibodeau's out there, and he, again, another expensive guy you'd have to trade for. But
Yeah.
Can't doubt his talent at all.
No, absolutely not.
Definitely hasn't been drafted at 5th overall level, but talent is 100% there.
Absolutely. Fits in a 4-3-2.
I had someone text me this week that Cam Jordan's not a bad option. A cheap veteran on the defensive end is for 1 year, not a bad option.
No.
Not ideal, but not a bad option, to be
he's
honest.
still productive, and that's the
Yes.
important part. Is
he prime Cam Jordan? No.
No,
But is
he's never gonna
is
be
he,
that
like,
guy.
Bottom of the barrel level? Not at all. I mean, he's doing pretty well. And then another guy that's out there that's still doing pretty well, Khalil Mack.
I was going to say, could there be a chance that they have a reunion with Khalil Mack? Now, Khalil Mack is going to be 35, or he is 35.
Cam Jordan's also 37. But
Right, of course. But
good thing about bringing him in as well.
these are two guys who still are averaging somewhere near the double-digit sack range at their age. But this is also contingent then, too, on the Bears' defensive line being like, oh, we've got it sound, locked and barreled. Like, Gervin Dexter's going to have to play at his best. I have my reserves right now on Grady Jarrett. I know he's Mr. All Reliable at the 3 technique, but I think you need to start thinking about somebody else taking that spot at some point. And Montez Sweat then needs to step up.
I got one more for you, and
Please.
this would be a Kevon Thibodeau, Max Crosby type player,
Mhm.
but definitely cheaper. Rashawn Gary just said he wants out.
I go so back and forth on that dude because
That's not a bad option, though.
No,
I get where you're coming from. That's also not a bad option.
no, he's in his prime. At his peak when he came out, he was a top edge rusher. I mean, he was one of the top players out of high school going to Michigan and everything, and one of the top guys, obviously, in the draft. But last year, something fell off with him. Maybe it is the Packers system. Maybe he's not happy with it. I don't know. There were so many times where it looked like either he was not trying or he didn't care. It's hard to tell. But he didn't hit the line with the force, or he didn't seem to want to hit the line at all. Like, there's just so many moments where I'm like, if I got to question your character, how much do you really want to? And this is where you say, well, okay, then maybe he is affordable, because if not a lot of people want him, then maybe he'll take what we can give him, and then perhaps that's enough to get a prove-it year out of him where you go, look, you show us in the first year you can do it, we'll talk about renegotiating and restructuring and getting you an extension, but you got to show us you're a prime-time edge rusher. So I'm not against it, but guarantees have to be put in place in that contract to say you have to hit marks for us to make sure you're going to make the money that you want to make. Look, Trey Hendrickson is going to be priced out. I think he's going to end up being a Dallas Cowboy.
I think he's going to be priced out for the Bears as well.
Yeah.
And
It'd be great. It'd be great if they could, but
he just retracted it?
Adam Schefter putting up, and now Packers edge rusher Sean Gary has deleted his goodbye.
okay.
Whoa, okay.
Well, that option might have just come off the table. Way to go, Scotty. You said something.
I reported it because he literally just said it, and he literally couldn't even
Yeah, but you
finish
had
talking
this-
about it
you
before
said
he said, nah, you know what?
You said something, and
Cheese
now
is
it
good.
happened.
You
You
know
said
what?
something, and now the reverse happened, so now he might even be... See, you said something, and he's like, hold on, Scotty Kiefer just said I might be a bear. Nah, we can't have that.
Yeah.
There you go. See? Other guys out there, obviously Khalil Mack, Rashawn Gary. Now we're going to have to wait to see what happens with that. Hassan Reddick, you know... That would be if they were in a 3-4 still, yes, but he's not that
Doesn't
guy.
really fit.
Bosa is just, I think he's at the end. He's just a situational edge rusher. He's just a situational edge rusher now. Well, the injuries, I think, have just piled up on him.
And it's crazy that we've gotten to that point with him because, like,
Yeah.
the talent was there.
The interesting one, I think, because Leonard Floyd, I think he's a situational edge rusher at this point. He's not a every down guy. The rest of these dudes are kind of situation. The one though that I like, I don't know if he is like primetime edge, is Malcolm Kuntz, who's now a free agent with the Raiders. Not a name, but he's got a wicked first step, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
But he'd have
on
to
a
put
team
on-
like the Raiders.
That's the thing. He'd
You're
have to-
questioning a little bit of productivity.
He might go back to the Raiders, and also he is a edge rushing linebacker technically. He'd have to put on weight and go into a stance. But it's just he is so quick and his bend is insane. So if he'd be willing to put on the weight thing, sure, but I get it. Von Miller, all the rest of these guys, no shot.
Von Miller's going back to Denver.
More than likely, give it a 1-day contract and just retire.
No, he said he wants to try to win them the Super Bowl.
Okay, fine. Whatever. Say what you want, bro. So listen, Bears, obviously, options on the table. We'll see what they do. There's a lot that they're going to have to discuss, but obviously let us know, folks, what do you think for the Bears going forward? And let's move into the next one because you guys were asking about it. A lot of you had some talks, but let's go with our boy Brandon, not Combs, different Brandon, not Januska either, different Brandon. Our guy Brandon, he was asking, he said, Kyler Murray looks like he's going to get released from the Cardinals. What do we think is potentially going to be the outcome for the Arizona Cardinals, for the former Arizona Cardinals quarterback? Do you think he has a future with another NFL team? Do you think he's going to just be a backup? And then he did ask the question, do you think that he could potentially go to baseball?
Get ready to start speaking skull. You're going to Minnesota, buddy.
Yeah. That's kind of the consensus right now that people seem to be falling into, is once Murray is officially released by the Cardinals, that Minnesota would probably be the best fit. And we talked a lot about this on Blow the Whistle, about where he could go. Me and Nick, we were talking about this, and I am emphatic on saying that wherever he goes, The Jets, the Dolphins have to be like the outliers. He has to go somewhere where there is structure. And whilst Minnesota, I understand, just fired their general manager and are currently right now working with a interim guy with Kevin O'Connell kind of being at the helm to make a lot of the decisions, Minnesota still feels like a place where there's structure, where you have a quarterback coach who knows his offense, understands how to get the best out of his quarterbacks. You have a wide receiver in Justin Jefferson who's still one of the best despite the season he had. They have not traded Jordan Addison yet, so you still have your number 2 wide receiver, and TJ Hawkinson, who's a good, reliable tight end that can work over the middle and still be an outside threat as well from time to time. So only thing that Minnesota maybe doesn't have right now is a ground game, because they just let go of Aaron Jones. And I don't know if they're going to be keeping Jordan Mason or not, but we'll see. But they'll certainly need a running back right now. And the question then also becomes, too, can their offensive line stay healthy? Darisaw is going to have to be there. And then the defense is now taking a new shape, too. With Jonathan Allen getting released, Jonathan Greenard right now is being potentially shipped around as a possible trade target. You know, so there's a lot of questions right now floating for the Vikings as well, too. Nick brought up a good one, which was kind of like an outlier that I think you said Mike Florio brought up, Nick, if I'm not mistaken. Mike Florio brought this up, but Nick said it on Blow the Whistle. What if he goes to the Rams, where, honestly, why not, right? It would make a lot of sense. Cliff Kingsbury's there. Who knows him better? He has a relationship with Nate Scheelhaas, who's now become the offensive coordinator. Sean McVay has been the guy who's transformed quarterbacks into something. He's done it with, obviously, Jared Goff, and then did it with now Matthew Stafford. He's even been able to show it with guys like Baker Mayfield, right? Like, there's no doubt that if Kyler Murray went there and you said he might be the successor to Matthew Stafford, who's to say that that couldn't possibly work? But I get it, though. That's a bit of a long shot because he's 28, going to be 29. Matthew Stafford is now spending another year there, so is Kyler Murray going to be wanting to stick around and wait for a chance to be coached by Sean McVay and be the quarterback of the Rams with no certainty that Matthew Stafford's going to be leaving? I get it. I understand that. But, yeah, look, I think Minnesota might be just the final stopping point for Kyler Murray as a starting quarterback, because what other options could there be? What, the Jets? What do they have outside of Garrett Wilson, and now they've franchise tagged Breece Hall? Like, there's nothing there other than the hopes that maybe with that other second-round pick they get Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson, who might be able to fall there. Maybe. The Dolphins right now have been gutted. They don't have anything, and they still have to figure out what to do with Tua, who would be a $99 million dead cap hit on that team if they were to just outright cut him, and nobody's trading for that guy. Where else can he go that he has potential good structural offense around him, a potentially solid defense, because Brian Flores is still, by the way, in Minnesota? Where else can he go?
The thing with Kyler is if you want him to go to the Rams, he's going to have to realize he's sitting at least a year.
Yes.
And a guy like Kyler, are you really going to take the chance to sit a year when there's already questions about how you're playing?
Yeah.
I think he is going to want to go to a team that he's going to maybe be guaranteed to start with. And that makes Minnesota not even the option because
God.
He's in a quarterback controversy with that move. I mean,
with J.J. McCarthy, which is weird to say.
Which, yes, that sounds crazy to say.
Of course.
I think Kyler would probably start over J.J., but
I mean, in fairness, J.J. was only in his second year here, so.
Well, glorified rookie year.
Yes.
Glorified rookie year.
Yes.
But I think that he might want to go to a team where he is going to be guaranteed to start day one. And there's just not really that many teams on that market right now. It seems like every other team that he could go to, he's somewhere in a quarterback controversy because of some teams just don't really know what you're going to get with Kyler Murray.
No, He is a conundrum. He is a confounding figure. I mean, look, 2-time Pro Bowler, right? He made it twice in his first 3 years, which is great. He won Rookie of the Year, which, like, rightfully so. He put up some outstanding numbers for what he was capable of doing, right? And he's taken the Cardinals to the playoff, right? He's been to the playoffs. Mind you,
maybe the worst game a quarterback has had in playoffs in recent memory.
Yes,
but
how could we ever forget they played the Rams, and obviously that was the year in 2021 where he threw the ball behind his back and it got intercepted because he thought maybe there's some magic here. Nope, it turned ugly. But yeah, it was a pathetic performance. But for what Kyler Murray's been as a quarterback, consistently over 65% completion percentage. Now this is by the numbers, right? Over 20,000 passing yards. He's thrown more touchdowns than interceptions, of course. I mean, half as many interceptions than touchdowns. So there's some light there too. Don't get it twisted. But
I mean, man, when he does have the ball in his hands, he is a magician back there. Watch.
He is, and I get it. The knock on him constantly is 5'10", 205 pounds, right? He's just a hair shorter than that of Russell Wilson, who obviously has had a borderline Hall of Fame career. Say borderline because these last few years have really kind of faded away. But all the same, Kyler was thought to maybe be that kind of guy because certainly has a stronger arm, I would say, than Russell Wilson. Certainly far more athletic. We all thought what we saw with Lamar Jackson was what Kyler Murray could possibly do. But that just hasn't been the case. Now, I will say this, though. Is this all on Kyler Murray? Somebody asked us this. This was from Kyle. Kyle asked us, is this all on Kyler Murray, or is this the Cardinals as well? Who's really at fault for his failures? And I'm always somebody who says I think there is that split. I'm actually going to say, though, I think the Cardinals may be more held in contempt here because they never did the best work on the offensive line to help protect him. They never did really get him the top weapon to help him out, right? They never did really get that outside of the trade for, obviously, DeAndre Hopkins, and then they tried it with Marquise Brown because, obviously, they thought, well, these two have a connection from college. Why wouldn't it work? And clearly, these two could never get on the same page. And I know they've tried it with Marvin Harrison here, but, Marvin Harrison, I think, is a little bit behind the learning curve on this for the NFL. And by the way, this past year was still strong for him. It's just the Cardinals, defensively, too, they've just never been sound with Kyler Murray at the helm. They had a couple of moments, but really they relied a lot on the offense to carry the burden. Outside of Budda Baker, who's their best defender? Like, I can't think of who that guy would be. He's the lone ranger back there, Budda Baker is. And he's a potential Hall of Famer at this point. I don't know how many people know this. He's made the Pro Bowl 8 times. He's made All-Pro, I think it's like 3 or 4 times. Like, the guy's on record as being one of the top safeties of this generation. But we don't talk about him because where is he? Arizona. So I would say I think the Cardinals, again, there's equal blame to go around, certainly, but I think the Cardinals have more to do with the lack of success maybe for Kyler than just Kyler saying, I'm not going to watch film, I'm going to keep playing video games.
Truly a desert wasteland of talent.
Honestly, to think that they were so close to winning a Super Bowl at one point with Kurt Warner and those guys back in 2009. Had it not been for Santonio Holmes having maybe one of the greatest moments in playoff history for a wide receiver, other than Cooper Kupp, I mean, it took that long to get to that point, folks. Like 2009 to 2021. Think about it. It's a distance there. But, yeah, let's explore this other option, right? Kyler Murray. Rights are still with the A's. Could he do it? From what I understood, from what I've been led to understand, and this is, I called some contacts, talking with people. The word is he still keeps himself in, quote-unquote, baseball shape. He still hits the batting cage, does all this stuff. Now, it's on the recreational side, and we kind of talked about this on Blow the Whistle. But, Scotty, what do you think about the potential of Kyler Murray? Remember, 9th overall pick, only guy in NFL history to be a top 10 pick in the NFL and baseball. Do you think, even at this point here, at 28 years old, not touching a baseball in years now, do you think that there's a chance that he could possibly go back to baseball and succeed?
Billy, this is Kyler Murray. We drafted him in the first round with the 9th overall pick. The problem is he's been playing football for the last 8 years. I mean, look, no.
He would be cheap for the money ball's sake. He would be cheap. Let's be fair.
Honestly, to be honest, I would not be surprised just because they are going to move to Vegas next year, hopefully. If they build their stadium, that would be very funny.
They actually have to build it, but yeah.
Their plan is I think they want to be in it for next season.
Correct.
No, don't. No, this is like the Chicago Fire trying to go for the guy from Ted Lasso.
That's why I brought that up.
Please don't. Don't even try.
It'd be good for promotional sake. It's good for promotions. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, until he's in the box and he sees Paul Skeens in front of him. And he turns into Josh Block and just goes, "Oh, no. Oh, no."
Oh, man. I mean, listen, even if he was bad, he'd fit perfectly still with the A's. So, I mean, I can't see him being. It's not Michael Jordan trying to be like, oh, I'm going to try baseball after trying basketball. I can't. Because let's remember history for what it was. Michael Jordan was not a great minor league baseball player.
At his height, it would be like Henry Rowan Gardner stepping up to the plate. I mean, no.
He's just a little bit taller than that of Altuve, so I guess he does have a bit of a height advantage on him, and he's faster, certainly. But was he going to play shortstop and second base? Like, I don't see how he fits. Like, I just and it would take him almost 2 years to get back into maybe baseball shape, where maybe he's hitting 200, maybe. And we're talking about at the major leagues where you're taking cuts at the plate consistently, day in and day out. You're not missing a single break, a batting practice of anything like that. Maybe 2 years, maybe. And that's saying that because he's obviously an incredible athlete. But I don't know. Nick, you got anything on it to say? I know we talked about it already, but anything more you want to say for?
I mean, Deion Sanders said hitting a baseball is probably the hardest thing on the planet, basically.
100%.
So, and he's played both professional baseball and professional football
At the highest level.
Yeah, considering that maybe Kyler Murray's at best getting batting cage reps.
Yeah.
There's no way.
There are reports that the Raiders are not looking to bring in a veteran quarterback and not start Fernando.
That's that would be interesting because Kyler Murray in Vegas. I mean, I guess if that sounded like it came from a deep place there, Nick. Jeez, you okay there? Listen, I'll say this: if he went to the Raiders, he could still go play baseball for the A's. Because isn't the stadium going to be right next door or something like that, or right down the street? So could do the Deion Sanders thing, I guess. Just switch out the uniforms real fast. I don't know though. Vegas, baseball or football, it's a town that has so much debauchery, and for a guy like him that could maybe be easily distracted, he could get sucked into it. I'd hate to hear that Kyler Murray's gambled away part of his contract or something like that. I don't think that would be the case, but you never know with these guys. You get in that setting, you get in that territory, and you can go nuts there. And on top of that, too, again, what structure is there for the Raiders? They've cut Geno Smith. Again, they cut Geno Smith. They're going to have to pay him they're going to pay somebody else who's not a coach. Again, another bunch of money. What are they doing? I get it. I understand the move that would be made there, but I think they'd have the better luck taking in Jimmy Garoppolo than they would Kyler Murray.
Somewhat related to Geno, I don't know, maybe if it's a kind of a side tangent for you, But are you on the same narrative that, like, yeah, maybe Tom Brady really doesn't know what he's doing behind the scenes and some stuff?
Maybe. Oh, I mean, he's not the general manager. I get that, but as the owner who's supposed to have the ear of Mark Davis and have this influence over the team, perhaps this is one of those moments where you go, great NFL player, maybe not the best owner slash GM slash whatever, advisor, whatever he is.
Will this go down as his Michael Kidd-Gilchrist pick? Maybe. Because I mean, between Geno Smith, Chip Kelly, I mean, going with a 80-year-old Pete Carroll, like this is not the best track record for Tom Brady getting a head start on his, his taking control of a team.
I mean, and again, he's a minority owner, so. But I agree with you, like. That's the crazy thing, right? The fact that Mark Davis has to be loving life.
I'm sorry, we can say minority owner, but there's no way he doesn't have incredibly insane influence.
He sits at the right hand side of Mark Davis in his ear, no doubt. But this is where like Mark Davis is loving life because he's like, everybody's gonna blame Tom Brady. They're not blaming me. I'm the majority owner, and I'm not catching any heat. It's all Brady. Like the first time ever, Brady is helping the Raiders, and it's in the worst possible way for the team, but it's helping the owner. Brady is gonna catch flack for this. Like, and by the way, if he is the one recommending taking Fernando Mendoza, and Fernando Mendoza is not that dude, oh man, the Raider Nation is going to kill him, not in literal terms, but they are going to give him a shellacking. Continuous. Because I'll tell you this right now. Even if Arvell Reese is half the player that he should be with the Jets, and the Jets still stink, but he is like the next Lawrence Taylor type of dude, or Micah Parsons, yeah, Raider Nation is going to tear him a new one, especially if you trade Max Crosby and you don't get any significant players for him. Like, you draft those guys, but they end up being nothing. That Tom Brady's historical run as a minority owner with the Raiders will be one of the worst. He'll be the most notorious minority owner in NFL history. Because who do you know that's a minority owner of any team that is like significantly well known? What, Ibisha, right? Is that how you say his name? The dude that now is a minority of the White Sox?
Is A-Rod a majority or minority owner of the Timberwolves?
I think he's a majority because there's a group. I think that doesn't count. But who else do you know that is a minority owner of a team that is this well known? Nobody. You don't know anybody. Not a single person.
Yo, KSI did just buy Dagenham and Redbridge.
Oh, shut up. You said words that nobody knows outside of one guy that asked us a question that I didn't bring today. We'll bring it next week if you can go next week. It's basically having to do with our two teams and if in the last 2 months can they pull off winning the league, essentially.
No.
And they also presented, and can these two teams win the Champions League too?
No.
He's speaking for his team. I'm not speaking for mine, okay? He's speaking for Man United. I'm speaking for Real Madrid. Maybe. You never know. Maybe. Mbappe, you got to get back, man. I'm begging you. You got to get back, homie. All right. Thank you guys, though, for the question. I appreciate it, as always, man. Appreciate those ones. And lastly, we're gonna talk this one here because this came in this morning, and I thought, you know what? Because it came in this morning, let's talk about it, shall we? This came from our guy, Ryan. Ryan asked us last night. But Ryan asked us this question and basically wanted to know, because he's from Tampa, and he said, what do we think is going to be the best what is our best choices for the UFC White House card that is coming up this year at some point? I forget
Dana's
when.
Announcing the card Saturday.
Yes, that is the reports. He's going to give
June, whatever date it is. I think it's the 11th. One of the Saturdays.
Yeah,
in June.
something like that. But yes, Dana's supposed to be announcing it this week. All the reports I've seen, And by the way, this is all like the Glazers of the UFC and MMA. They're all going, oh, this is going to be maybe one of the best cards we've ever seen in the last 5. Yeah, okay, we'll find out. We'll see what Dana says here. But yeah, Ryan's asking basically what do we believe would be the best choice for a UFC White House card, if I'm understanding the question correctly. If I'm not, Ryan, you can yell at me and let me know later. But thank you, as always, for the question. I appreciate it. Scotty, I'll let you take the realm on this because of the two of us, you are definitely the aficionado, the expertise of the UFC and MMA. So I'll let you take the runs.
It's tough because there's really no American champion right now.
Right.
I mean, Kayla Harrison had to get surgery.
It's just funny that it's at the White House, but you won't have an American champion there.
There's also not really any real American contenders either.
That's also true.
I mean, you have Sean O'Malley, but he just lost a title match very recently.
He'll probably be in there, I'm sure. But yes, he did just lose.
They wanted Gaethje to win against Patty, but are you really gonna put Gaethje? I mean, Gaethje's their best option to put on there, but you have to put him up against Topuria.
I would have to say so.
You're not gonna get an American win. I mean, Colby Covington has said that he wants to be on there, nowhere near a title contender, but he's also said that he doesn't want to fight just another American because he doesn't just want that. They don't want Americans to lose.
He's got brain worms anyways, but you know.
It's tough because there is no real American contenders really, but again, the UFC isn't really American heavy right now.
No.
The champions are all from other places, and I think that's something they could also throw on. I think it would have been funny if Tom Aspinall was the heavyweight champion main eventing and winning, because, yikes, the English conquer the White House again. Not a fan of that.
Frying that the British Bulldog over the front again there.
Dana said he doesn't want to, but you have to put John Jones on there just because he's the only American that can really be thrown in a title fight and would have a good chance at winning.
And would it be Pariah?
It would be Alex Pereira, yeah.
Pereira, excuse me. I like that. That's the one I've seen consistently, and it's just like that's a great matchup, maybe. But it's if John Jones is on the card, and that's up to Dana, and also if John Jones shows up ready to go.
Yeah. The main question though is Conor on the White House card? There's rumors that he's delaying it to be on International Fight Week, which we all know how that went last time. He did not fight on International Fight Week.
Yep.
So are you really going to throw Conor on the White House card? He wants to. That was his goal, but
he's fighting Michael Chandler then, right?
Nope. Cuck Chandler is sitting in the cuck chair waiting for Conor again, because it's more than likely going to be like a Masvidal or someone like that.
Okay.
Which Masvidal, again.
How old's he again?
38 maybe.
Okay.
Hasn't fought in a couple of years. Retired a couple years ago.
Neither of them have, so you're going to see two guys who are probably winded after the first round. I mean, unless they come in great shape, I feel like the Chandler one would make sense. But, right, if that's what you want to do,
I mean, honestly, what I would love to see is just and the reason why everyone's hyping it up is because you have contrasting things. If you have, the president saying it's going to be all title fights, and then you have Dana coming out like, whoa.
You can't have all title fights.
Have that. You're gonna have to. You're stopping like everything in its tracks around the UFC.
Yeah.
It's tough. It is just really tough. Because I know they want to put the Americans out there, but it's not. You just can't get there right now.
I got one for you that everybody will love, Derek Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, well, everyone will love, especially because
it's not a champion, but it is an American fighter. If you're doing this at the White House, if you want American fighters, here's one for you that everybody loves. Nobody hates Derek Lewis.
No, that's fair.
And I mean, he'd fight? What was the one I saw? Tai Tuivasa?
Yeah, no, should be nowhere near the UFC though.
Yeah, I see the one and then I look him up and I go, oh no.
I think Makhachev Usman might be on there.
Okay.
I know that's not getting off of it has to be an American. I think
it doesn't have to be American. I'm going to be honest. It does not have to. It's just going to be a great fight.
Topuria Gaethje could be on there. Makachev versus Usman should be on there. Jones, Pereira. I wish Kayla Harrison was okay because she would probably be on there.
I was gonna say I've seen her fighting.
Shevchenko might be on there.
Yeah, Nunez I think was the one that they were saying.
Yeah, they were supposed to fight. Nick just said he wishes Hulk Hogan was gonna be on. Are you okay? Did you drink a Mountain Dew today? Okay.
You would have been a pretty good appearance there.
Tear off the shirt as the UFC starts, probably.
I don't want to completely sidetrack it, but I will. I've been just sitting here thinking, like, what's the ultimate, like presidents of all time MMA match? Like, would you want Abraham Lincoln versus Andrew Jackson? I think that would be I think that's much. That'd be a better. I know everyone's gonna go, oh, George Washington versus Abraham Lincoln. No. You gotta go with the two biggest badasses. I think that was Andrew Jackson and Abraham Lincoln. So I think Abraham Lincoln was a wrestler, he's a bare knuckle fighter.
Abraham Lincoln invented the choke slam.
Exactly. So
I'm not joking either. That is a major story that he invented the choke slam. That was his move.
love that.
That is in fact an actual.
That's
statement.
where I mean. That's just kind of where my head is at. Like, do you even want to run it back with like some guy, some people that lost it, like Hillary versus Mitt Romney or something like that?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Obama, Trump. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say give me William Howard Taft versus Theodore Roosevelt. I'd take that all day.
I think honestly, what they're gonna do is they're gonna put Conor versus Nate Diaz.
Absolutely.
I think they're gonna put Conor versus Nate Diaz on the White House.
I mean, I know Diaz.
Diaz said he wants.
Diaz says he wants to do it. I know, and I know he's still got a lot of blood burning with him and Conor. The Colby Covington one's interesting. Would it be Robert Whittaker? Maybe. Would that be a good one? You think? I like Whittaker.
It wouldn't be a good one, but
I mean,
you kind of have to.
Like, I'm not saying it's a good one, but like,
I feel like what it's gonna be is Colby's gonna be like the last prelim.
Yeah.
And Derek's gonna be the opener because
Okay.
Trump loves Derek, or the other way around.
okay.
No, it's tough. There's
Well, who would? Oh, say so. We could say Shane O'Malley, right?
Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley.
Right?
Sean O'Malley's
But
on
he's
it.
got to fight Jan, and Jan just got surgery, so.
Right.
He just won. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm not gonna say the reason, but we kind of can't put Khamzat Chimaev on that card, and that's who he'd have to fight.
Yeah, that wouldn't go over well right now. Not right
Especially
now.
if Dana's idea of they walk out of the Oval Office to go to the octagon is real, we cannot.
They can do.
Have Khamzat Chimaev walk out of the Oval Office and do his, let's say, ritual that he does.
I've got one for O'Malley if this is the case. What about Corey Sandhagen?
I mean, yeah, but like
They'd both be high energy, so at least I think it would be a good fight.
I guess.
You
could throw that one on there.
I am pulling at whatever strings I can find here, my friend. Okay,
I know it's
this
tough.
is not Ryan. I love the question, thank you, but this is not easy.
Well, it's not easy because.
Well, you guys are trying to book it like a WWE in the sense of like, oh, we need the hometown guys on there.
Yes, that's
More or less.
That's what I was
Yeah,
approaching. So you're putting Jones Pereira, you're putting
Correct.
Conor Diaz, you're putting, hopefully Topuria Gaethje's on there.
Yes.
Makachev Usman, and then you got to throw a women's fight in there, so Shevchenko versus someone.
Yeah.
Shoot, let's put Mackenzie Dern out there.
Sure.
Well.
Why not? I'm all for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are.
Stop it.
Stop it. Can't go through the WWE lens because these are fights.
Yeah, these are actual fights.
No.
Years off of your career.
Yes.
See, you
can't just take you. I would not just want to accept a random fight just for the sake of like, oh, like I'm gonna fight on the White House field. Like, no. I want to have a fight if I'm gonna have a fight.
See,
Yeah, absolutely.
you say that, but the UFC is also known for like putting they have a UFC Mexico event and they throw all the Mexican fighters on there, and then they make sure that the main
They
event
always
is gonna be a Mexican
play a
fighter.
lot to the home crowd, which
they do like to do stuff like
which
that.
I get that and I understand that, but this is a big promotional opportunity for the UFC, which it's already big. Don't get it. Let's not get that wrong. But this is a moment where you can say, oh, landmark opportunity for the sport, for this brand, all that stuff. And if you don't do it right, like, we like you were just like Nick just said, like with WWE and stuff. How many? We just saw one, right? Elimination Chamber, one of those events that a lot of people do look forward to. And here's one, and it really tanked. It really did not hit everyone's flavor that as the usual, right? I mean, and that's happened for a lot of things. It's happened with boxing. It's happened with MMA a lot. It's happened with it's happened with a lot of these. What are all the connections? Oh, what's the company that owns a lot of them? Jeez, I don't know. 3 little letters that we all know way too well.
Your main event is going to be Jones-Pereira with a co-main of Conor McGregor if he's on the card.
Probably. That's more than likely.
And if Conor's not on the card, then your co-main is probably going to be Topuria versus Gaethje. That's what I'm going to go with.
Which I'm okay with too. I
am just so excited for this card. I think it has potential to be one of the best cards they have. I think the spectacle of it is unlike anything the UFC will ever put on ever again.
I wonder too about the infrastructure of like how they're gonna make this thing work, because obviously you're not gonna let a bunch of people on the White House lawn.
Do you know what they're doing?
It's gonna look like the big and powerful are sitting in a circle saying, "Fight for us with money." And
that's literally what it is. They're allowing like 100 to like 200 people actually on the South Lawn.
Of course.
And then the National Mall, they're gonna have a bunch of TVs for over 100,000 people that can show up.
So everyone's gonna have to stand around and look at TVs up on the walls.
You got it.
Oh, people are going to love that, as Americans do, because, boy, one thing they sure love doing is standing around looking at things.
Well, to be fair, Dana does have every other week them go to the Apex, so, like...
That's fine.
No, the Apex is awful.
Yeah,
You're not going to have every Tom, Dick, and Jane just onto the White House lawn.
Nobody's saying that they will, although, I mean, in fairness, we did see a bunch of people a couple years ago go and just jump into a building just because they thought they could, but, nevertheless.
I do think it's also, one last thing I do want to say, I know there are a lot of fighters that actually don't want to be on this card. And
a lot of them have been saying that they're okay with staying away from this.
Patty was one of the big ones. He came out and was talking about the White House, and he said, I don't want to be there because the problem is he likes having his whole family with him for the fights.
Right.
And a lot of these fighters do like doing that.
They want to bring their wives and their kids, and if they're not going to be allowed, that can become an issue. Some of these guys use that as a bit of a ritual, I know, too.
Yeah.
Like, it can be concerning, especially, too, and listen, with the climate as the way it is and the way that people are, the last thing you want is, like, your family's somewhere else watching, maybe with a bunch of people, and it takes but one idiot to be like, oh, that's so-and-so's wife, I think. Let's go, do something. And I understand that. And again, this is not a political show, but obviously with the climate as it is, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are I know there's a lot of people that are steering away from, I don't want to be involved with this for X, Y, and Z. And credit to Dana, he is respecting those that are allowing that to be the case. But you do have to make sure this card, I think, is solid across the board. For the most part, I will say, for the most part. The main event better be able to stack up. The co-main event better be there. The prelims, they can kind of be whatever. I'm just hoping for entertaining, if anything. But this is a huge moment. Do not go into this thinking you can just kind of run with whatever, and then it botches, and then just kind of be like, well, we didn't know. You're the man in charge. You're the one setting the stage. Again, you can't blame the people up top like you love to. We all know you love those 3 little letters to kind of take the blame. I can't stand them anymore. Like, after what we just went through when we were talking about it beforehand with the Elimination Chamber and everything like that, like, I'm sorry. Anybody else that's not TKO, please. Please and thank you. My God. But yeah, any other last-minute thoughts from you guys? Anything else? Scotty, last-second shots, anything you want to throw out there, chime on?
World Baseball Classic.
I'm loving it. Australia's looking good, man. Man. Guys got him. My God, he's bad. I'm impressed. I am impressed. I also didn't know he was Australian. I will fully admit that. Did not know until he stepped up to the plate.
Andrew,
he was
you're
going
to read a lot of these rosters and not realize a lot of people are actually from there, because a lot of them are just rejects that couldn't make the America team. Let's be honest.
Okay, you know what? Calm down there, Mr. Red, White, and Blue, okay? Mr. I don't like Canada. I don't like Canada for the
that's not even an
stupid
American
reasons.
thing. It's just true.
I've never been to Canada, but I know how to judge them right off the bat. Yeah.
Sorry, go look at Team Netherlands with guys from Aruba.
I'm not arguing against you on that stuff, okay? I'm not arguing against that stuff, but you seem to be, I'm just saying. I know. I'm just teasing you just because I didn't know what else to say, and it's fun to tease you, so. I get you, but, whatever. They get to play in the World Baseball Classic, so more than what most of us can say. I tried swinging a bat the other day, and you know what happened? I hurt my back, okay? That's where I'm at right now in life, all right? Love your youth while you got it. All right, enough about my sad moments, folks, because we got to get out of here. We thank you all for being a part of this. We thank you all for listening, watching. You guys are the best fans in the world. Thank you guys all so much for the questions. We always appreciate it, folks. If you want to follow us anymore, of course, my personal self, I'm at The Fluffy Guru on Twitter. I'm also at Boom Crew Captain on Instagram. I don't promote that enough, so if you guys want to follow me on that, it's the cartoon drawing if you're looking for the picture. That'd be me. On top of that, too, the YouTube, the Twitch, it's where you can find us streaming every Friday. Future shows, TBD. We're working on some stuff, trying to figure out dates, things like that. We'll keep you guys updated on that as we can go along. Also, too, the social media at XBomb Sports, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff. Please follow us there. We'll be back on that stuff again for another round. And keep the questions coming, guys. We really do appreciate it. It's at xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. I always appreciate it. I always love talking with you guys when I can. It's always good conversation. And even the haters, too. We always appreciate you guys, and we always thank you for watching for whatever the nastiest, meanest comments might be. Real quick, too, Bad Karma Wrestling. Check it out. They just went live before us. Go check them out again, folks. Go check out the most recent episode. No Gimmicks Johnson, Scotty Kiefer. They were on the rack today. But every Friday you can catch Nick Johnston, David Double D Dykstra, and, yeah, occasionally Scotty chimes in once in a while when they let him speak to talk all things WWE and AEW. So make sure 11 a.m. Central Time on the YouTube page. That is Bad Karma Wrestling. And we're not going today, but come back Monday, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time. It's Blow the Whistle, myself, No Gimmicks Johnson, David W. Dykstra, Adam the Glitch Schneider. His nickname, not ours. Yeah, you guys can catch us on there on the radio side. That's at sportstownchicago.com, at Sportstown Chicago's YouTube page, where we are going live talking all the sports that we just talked here and then some more. Obviously, we're getting close to free agency and the draft. We'll probably be talking about that. Some more NFL, maybe get into some World Baseball Classic stuff. We'll be saying all that and more. But, yeah, we'll see you guys then. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We appreciate you. Again, greatest fans in the world. Means a lot to us that you'll spend the time to be able to come and hang out and chill with us and watch our show. So we'll see you guys next week, as always, for another fun one. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.